Okay guys, so I did a thing. So first of all, I know I made this video right here, but this was a birthday present, so I'm kind of in the clear. Anyways, let's unbox it and we'll give our first impressions. Okay, so of course I had to get the citrus color because, well, it's the citrus color. This one was super sold out, by the way, and it was supposed to take longer to get here, but it ended up getting here much quicker than usual, so let's open you up. You gotta love how easy Apple makes this. Alright, so the configuration that I ended up getting was the 512 gigabyte, actually that should be the only difference, the 512 gigabyte variation with Touch ID on it, just because my current MacBook is the M1 with 256, and I thought I'd probably want more space. By the way, check this out right here. It says hello on the tab, which is new, so alrighty. Ooh. Gotta love this. Oh my gosh, guys. So that's the laptop. But first of all, let's see what else we get in the box. So, designed by Apple in California. No Apple stickers, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they stopped doing that a long time ago. And charging. I think this is a... Hold up. Of course, we gotta peel it. Actually, this looks just like my iPhone charger, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty sure it's 20 watts, but I think the MacBook itself is capable of doing 30 watts, so I might just use my normal MacBook charger. And, of course, you know, the braided cable. So, USB-C to USB-C. Pretty much the same thing you'd get when you buy an iPhone. Well, I don't think iPhones come with this anymore, so, yeah. Charging brick in the box, pretty nice. I don't think you Europeans get a charging brick anymore. I don't know what's up with the EU and that law. Sometimes they do something cool for consumers, and a lot of times, they don't. So you literally only get these two when you buy a MacBook. Either way, $599 for base model, $699 for the 512 with the Touch ID that I'm about to show you guys. But let me, I guess, compare this to my old MacBook. This is my MacBook M1 that I'm still going to be using. I'm probably going to still use this to edit all the videos on this channel. I might do some of it on here just to test out the, what is it, A18 Pro chip. But at the same time, I don't know, like, I feel like this work is still going to happen on here, but I feel like this is going to be more of my casual laptop, if that makes any sense. So, this isn't the full review, just a first impressions thing, but I think size-wise, okay, so size-wise, as you guys can see, it's smaller than my old MacBook, since you can still see some of the other MacBook, but I think weight-wise, they're the same. Let's open this bad boy up, I guess. So, wait, one hand test. All right, my table's really weird right now, but ooh. Oh, I love that. I don't know if you see that when you turn it on, the Apple logo just pops up. Oh yeah. Ooh. Okay. First things first, I love how the wallpaper matches the color of the laptop you end up buying. Second thing second, if you buy the 256 gigabyte base model, which I still think is super worth it, instead of this Touch ID thing, I think you get a lock button, so yeah. And I'm pretty sure the trackpad here is actually an actual physical click trackpad, the diving board mechanism, while the one that's on my M1 is haptic, so major differences there. Either way, let me set this up and we'll see where we're gonna go from here.
Press the return key.
Okay, we'll set you up. Alright, so I did the basic sign-in stuff, and one thing that I just noticed, or I noticed before, but, you know, I noticed even more now, even though it's bright in this room, the keyboards aren't backlit anymore, so I'm excited to see how that's gonna affect, you know, me using this at nighttime. I do use my laptop a lot at night, but, you know, we're gonna see. I think the screen should be bright enough to, you know, light up the keyboard, but anyways, welcome screen, and let's see what happens if we click get started. Yeah, that's the screen, guys. That's the page. I'm gonna change just a few things with the widgets, though. Honestly, I want to start fresh, so I didn't, like, move things from my other laptop to this one, but I think maybe we'll keep the calendar. It's kind of nice to know the date. So nothing's installed yet. I'm probably gonna, you know, put in Chrome, all the stuff that I probably want to use, but as of right now, it does feel pretty smooth. I like to have up to 4 desktops, that way we can just, you know, multitask a bit better. And something I like to change is I need to invert the scrolling. So how do I do that again? Scroll and zoom. All right, what is natural scrolling? What do I have set? Okay, so apparently it's just this thing here. So let's see. Yes, okay, it follows my finger going up and down. I'm sorry, that's just a me thing, but all right. So I'll see you guys in a few hours when I've used this a bit, set up a few things, then I'll let you guys know my first impressions. As of right now, though, it's a laptop. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so it's been a few hours since, well, the last clip, and I've pretty much just been trying to set the MacBook up. Obviously I can't give you guys a full review right now because, well, it's only been a few hours and it would be kind of unfair if I had some sort of opinion to give you guys right now. So what's going to happen is I'm actually going on a trip in like a few days, and maybe next week or the week after, I don't know if I'm going to do 1 or 2 weeks, I'm going to give you guys, like, I guess, you know, the full review of my experience with this MacBook. Right now, though, first impressions, I like it. As I said, though, in a previous video, well, since if you have a MacBook Air, you probably don't need this, but I did get this as a birthday present, and I was super curious about it because, well, the cool new thing about this MacBook and what makes it special is not only just the price tag being probably the lowest price you've seen for a MacBook, you know, officially bought from Apple in the new market, but also the fact that this phone here, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it's using the same chip in this MacBook, I think, except for the fact that it has like one less GPU core. So I'm just very, very interested in seeing how that runs with the MacBook, whether or not it's using a phone processor and trying to stretch out its capabilities, or is it the fact that maybe the processor is so good that it's iOS holding the processor back, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, something I will say that I immediately noticed when testing stuff out is you guys see on my MacBook Air how their speakers are physically like right here and it's kind of like massive on both sides. Well, with the MacBook Neo, the way they got to a small shape is they pretty much moved the speakers. Instead of it being in the front, you have it kind of like on both the, I don't know if you guys see that, you know, it's in the camera, but it's basically on the left and right side where it's there. So sound quality wise, it doesn't sound bad. It's just the MacBook Air definitely sounds better, and I think that's mainly because of both the location and the size of the speakers. Another noticeable downgrade that Apple will warn you about if you're plugging it to the wrong USB-C port is I think one of these USB-C ports is actually USB 2.1 while the other one is 3.0. So, but I feel like if you know what that is, you know what I'm saying with the USB speeds and all of that, you definitely aren't the target demographic for this MacBook. I've seen a lot of reviews talking about this MacBook and who they think the target demographic is, which is, you know, college students, teachers, or people that just need a good, sturdy laptop that does, you know, web browsing, emails, documents, spreadsheets, all that kind of stuff really, really well. And I will say, just from a few hours of just using this, it does feel like that. Like, it's very seamless, it's very smooth, unless I'm throwing something pretty heavy at it, which I honestly didn't get to try too much. I did a little bit of gaming and, you know, opening up the video editor and all that. They both work, and I know a lot of people are gonna say, if you're in the market for this, you know, those things are probably just things they don't, like, anyone really considers when it comes to, you know, this type of laptop. But my argument is, if college students are one of the target demographic for this laptop, then those students will probably want to try at least some sort of light gaming, and it seems like the few games I did try, Minecraft, Stardew Valley, they seem to work pretty well. I'm still going to test out some other games. I know people have said that it can run Cyberpunk. I don't think I'm going to test that out, mainly because I believe them. I just don't think it can run Cyberpunk at high settings, which I don't know if that's like a worthwhile experience. If you think it is, then good on you. You'll probably have a good time with this. But for now, a lot of testing still needs to be done and all that. And I'm gonna, like I said, it's not going to be replacing my M1 Air. This is still going to be like, you know, my workflow editing laptop and all that. I want to use this as, I guess, just a normal laptop user and kind of do some normal laptop things for this upcoming week and kind of, you know, bring my thoughts into it. But that does not mean I won't be at least trying, I guess, you know, the creative workflow stuff. Because I do think that's worth looking into, since we are in the area of social media, you know, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. There's just a lot more people more cognizant of, you know, wanting to create content. And, you know, all those things I just mentioned aren't really like super heavy things you need to edit, and I do think this laptop will probably be capable, as well as just dealing with, I guess, normal footage. Like, I think this video right here could probably be edited on this, but I'm not going to, mainly because I kind of just have all my files in here and none of them in here. But maybe I will at least test some sort of recording out and at least editing it on here just to see how it feels. Anyways, wait for the full review, but what I will say, just in terms of build quality, I do think it's probably the best laptop you can get in the $600 price tag. Although this is, you know, again, the tier up, so this one is the $700 version. Now, take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, okay? Considering that this was a gift and I did not have to pay any of my own money to buy it. Personally, I do think the extra $100 for basically twice the memory and Touch ID just to make, you know, logging in, you know, buying stuff in the App Store, you know, those payments and all that, not having to type your password all those times, just making it a lot more convenient. So I'm gonna enjoy that space, and I'm gonna enjoy just using my finger to do a lot of things. Either way, that's gonna be it today. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have a MacBook Neo, I will say this color, I really do like it. I'm hoping I don't get sick of it because it was literally between this or the indigo. Let me know, guys. Do you guys think I made the right choice? If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have one, let me know which color you ended up getting and why. Or if you don't have one, let me know which color you would get and why. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later, and peace. Bye, guys.